Bitcoin is in a downtrend. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people are panicking. And people on social media are throwing around all sorts of price targets ranging from 70k to even 20k, I saw someone post. In this video, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to answer the one question on most Bitcoin investors' mind right now. And that is, how low can the price really go? I'll share my screen and I'll walk you through the charts looking at the long-term structure and also key support and resistance trend lines. Real quick, I'm Harvinder. I've been in Bitcoin since 2015 and I've been sharing my regular updates since 2022. And I've been right many times, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. Everything I do is focused on price action and structure, and I ignore the headlines. So let's get into the video. This is a fresh Bitcoin chart. This is the weekly chart. And if you were to show me this on any asset and you didn't tell me what it was, I would say it's still, it's a really good chart. It's a really good investment because if you look, it's just in an uptrend. Yeah, it has tapered off somehow. It hasn't gone, just like that. And nothing ever does. The market has matured more. And when it's like this, it's hard to find good key areas of support and resistance because it's curving. And so when you are looking at support, you're essentially drawing a line of best fit. So I'm trying to draw some kind of line here, trying to catch these lows. And the one I've been using most recently is more of a local one, which is around about here. And this is the one that broke because, well, you can see it was connecting this low in 2022. It reacted there and it reacted there. But all along this run, there have been other trend lines that I've been tracking, like over here. And also another one I was tracking was like this one here. That one broke, that one broke. And so you have to take it level by level. And when Bitcoin broke this one here, that's when I started to get really worried. I'm like, great, that's not good. And then when it broke this one, I got even more worried. But if we were to zoom out, what we're trying to do is pick out the lows and try and connect as many points as possible. And it is difficult on a chart like this. So it is just, trying. Can we pick a point from here? Maybe connect that point. See, that's not a bad one, but I'm going to use the ray function. I like using the ray function because you just connect 2 points and then the line just extends itself. So if we have that, then that's not bad. And I can also even probably connect that here. I would say that's more accurate. And it cuts through here a little bit. So what this is basically showing is that the price, if you're just using this support and resistance, then the price is less likely, I'm not going to say unlikely, is less likely to fall below this level. And this is how you have to take it step by step. Because if it does break this level, then you've got to look at, all right, what is the next line of support? And that's what I'm trying to show you in this video. So we want to be realistic. Okay, if that breaks, then what next? And it really is a case of just drawing other lines of support. And I would be looking at horizontal lines. You could also see some kind of line here. And there's no one, I always say there's no one trend line to rule them all. There's no, okay, look, this is the Gandalf line, some people say. And so this is another decent one. And what I would do from here is the next levels of support I'll be looking at are horizontal levels. And this is trying to connect as many price points as possible over here. And so, is it possible that Bitcoin could come down to this 15k level? Yes, technically. But then we have to ask, is it realistic? And I would say no. So I'm not even going to entertain that. If Bitcoin does come down to this 30k level, that's when I'll be like, okay, let's start asking the question. And so my low for this run would be 30k. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One reason is if you look at previous lows, or bull market tops to lows, in the 2017 run, it was 84%. In the 2021 run, it was 77%. So we're looking at roughly, potentially 70 to 80%. And so let's just say 75%. And then that is that 30k level. And so that's one level. And I don't think it's going to go that low. I really don't. And maybe I'm just delusional. And so now we're going to be looking at other horizontal levels of support. And what we're essentially looking for are as many touch points as possible. This one I just drew here, you've got a touch point here, many touch points there, and over here. So that's a very strong level. So if Bitcoin does capitulate, and I don't think it will, then that's a very potential level. And then following on from there, I'm looking at, see, this top here. So I'm going to draw a line here. Let me just move that up. And I'd also be looking at, and let me just delete these and make this a bit tidier. So yeah, I've got that level there. And then I'm also looking at this level here. And remember, this is a range. This isn't, okay, look, this is the absolute low, because this is the most perfect trend line. It really is an educated guess. And so these are the levels that I'd be looking at. So, and this is where it gets interesting, because you get confluences of support and resistance. That's where these horizontal lines and these angled lines, they start to match up. And when that happens, when you have a confluence of support and resistance levels, that's when things normally happen. And so another trend line that I've been tracking is I'm connecting, say, that top to these tops over here. And so at the moment on my other chart, I am looking at this level here, 80k as a bounce. But if that fails, then I'd probably be looking at this level here, 76k level. And that is as far as I really think this is going to go, as low as around about the 75k mark. But then if it does start to break through and really capitulate, then yeah, we need to be realistic. But we also need to be realistic and understand that it's probably not going to happen in a straight line. And that's where you move these across. And so things will take time. Maybe not as much as 6 months, but over the next few months, I can't imagine any fireworks. So I would say, from my point of view, between 70k to 50k is realistic. But my best guess right now is this 75k mark. And this is where you've got to zoom out into the macro and get realistic as well, because the actual macro environment is setting up to be pretty bullish. And yeah, we are on a downtrend, because if you look at, the economics, gold, silver, silver's just crushing it. It's doing really well. We'll see what happens with the US markets when they open up. But that yesterday wasn't a bad day. Yeah, we had a drop. We've come back to hit this trend line. And I remember talking about that about a week or so ago. And so we have rebounded off of here. And so from a short-term perspective, Bitcoin could be due for another bounce as well. We had a couple of low tests. If it does go higher, then yeah, I'd be surprised if it breaks this 89k mark. But I really do see this downtrend still playing out. I definitely do see lower levels. But the biggest thing is the money printing. When this US money printing starts again, that's just going to change everything, because there's going to be more liquidity in the system. Another chart I'm keeping an eye on, a close eye on, is this one, the Russell. Now this has come back into this channel. And so yeah, when this starts to really pump, if you overlay this with the altcoin charts, there's a very strong correlation there as well. And so yeah, I hope that answers the question. How low can Bitcoin really go? And I don't want this to be a cop-out. What do I think is going to happen over the next 24 or 48 hours? I do see a little bit of a pump. And that's mainly because, looking at the US markets, we had a quick look at that chart. It was relatively green. And from a daily perspective, daily chart perspective, that's a very nice candle. And so, yeah, over the next few months, I'm still cautious stroke bearish. We could have a little bit of a pump now over the next couple of days or so. And I think Friday, Japan are announcing some interest rate hikes. then yeah, that might be a nail in the coffin for the moment. And yeah, probably won't be good news. And so, yeah, they are my thoughts. How low can Bitcoin really go? I've been talking about the 75k level for probably about a month now. If it breaks that, then yeah, 70k, 65k. I can't see it going much lower than that. But you never know. But what I can say with certainty is that the price will recover. So if you just play the long game, if you just hold it out even for a year or two, the Bitcoin price will recover. And that's pretty much guaranteed. And I say that because if you understand basic economic supply and demand, Bitcoin price is fixed in supply and the demand keeps on going up. And that only means one thing for the price. And I've been saying the same thing since 2016. And I've been right. And it's not about me being a genius. This is basic economics and this is how it works. But anyway, I'm going to go live on Friday, 3 p.m. UK time. I'll be live on YouTube. And so if you want to join, ask questions, ask me to go through any charts that you want me to go through, I'll be happy to. And I'll probably make it a weekly thing. I'll probably take a bit of a break over Christmas because I don't think many people are going to tune in. Let's see. If you guys want me to, then I'll do it. And I'll put a link in my Telegram group. Link is in the description. You can join for free. I post updates on there now and again. And yeah, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Thank you.